was written between 1610 and 1611 as Shakespeare's final play. Wow, it's the last play he wrote by himself. Now my charms are overthrown, and what strength I have is my own. In this quote, Shakespeare seems to be speaking through his character Prospero. Shakespeare made the epilogue as an adios to his own art.
The Tempest revisits some of the most important issues and themes from his past shows. Prospero makes the decision to make his magic staff and move to Naples, similar to the decision to let go of his own art.
If Shakespeare is like Prospero, then playwriting is like performing magic. Writing is like performing magic.
November 1st, 1611 was the first performance of The Tempest, and it was played for King James. In 1667, first revival happened after theaters reopened at Restoration. The new version only includes 1/3 of Shakespeare's original text. Characters were changed and new ones were added. This was the way it was performed for almost 200 years.
In 1757, the first production of Shakespeare's text and not de Vian's text, though there were still cuts. In 1847, a production was produced with less than usual effects, which was praised for its emphasis on Shakespeare's text. It was heavily cut, but incorporated effects that still kept the spectacular tradition.
In 1979, John Gorey directed the play for the BBC television series, and Michael Hordern played Prospero.
In 1980, the production was an iconoclastic gay film version. New sexual possibilities of the production were explored, and music was even added.
Now let's introduce the characters!
The character Prospero is the play's protagonist, and the father of Miranda. 12 years before, Prospero was the Duke of Milan. His brother Antonio, in concert with Alonso, the King of Naples. Prospero has spent his 12 years on this island refining the magic that gives him the power he needs to punish and forgive his enemies.
Miranda is the daughter of Prospero. Miranda was brought to the island at an early age and has never seen any other men other than her father and Caliban, though she dimly remembers being cared for by female servants as an infant. Because she had been sealed off from the world, Miranda's perceptions are often naive. She is compassionate, generous, and loyal. Alonso, King of Naples and father of Ferdinand. As he appears in the play, he is acutely aware of the consequences of all his actions. He blames his decision to marry his daughter to the Prince of Tunis on the apparent death of his son.
Ferdinand is the name of my great-grandfather.
Really?
Yeah.
Antonio, Prospero's brother. Antonio quickly demonstrates that he is power-hungry and foolish. He goes along with Sebastian's absurd story about fending off lions when Gonzalo wakes up and catches Antonio and Sebastian with their swords drawn.
Caliban, another of Prospero's servants. Caliban, the son of the now-deceased witch Syrax, acquainted Prospero when he arrived. Caliban believes that the island is, rightfully belongs to him, and has been stolen by Prospero. His speech and behavior is sometimes coarse and brutal, and as in his scenes with Stefano and Trinquil, and sometimes is sensitive, as in his rebukes of Prospero in Act 1, Scene 2.
Sebastian, Alonso's brother, like Antonio, he is both aggressive and cowardly. He is easily persuaded to kill his brother in Act 2. Ferdinand, Daniel's great-grandfather. I'm just kidding. Ferdinand, son and heir of Alonso. Ferdinand seems in some ways to be as pure and naive as Miranda. He falls in love with her upon first sight and happily submits to servitude in order to win her father's approval.
Trinquo and Stefano, Trinquo a jester and Stefano a drunken butler, are the two minor members of the shipwrecked party. They provide a comic foil to one another. More powerful pairs. Their drunken boasting and greed reflect and deflate the quarrels and power struggles of Prospero and the other noblemen. Gonzalo, an honest old lord. Gonzalo helped Prospero and Miranda to escape after Antonio took Prospero's title. Gonzalo's speech provides an important commentary on the events of the play, as he remarks on the beauty of the island when the stranded party first lands.
Ariel. No, not the Little Mermaid. Prospero's spirit helper. Ariel is referred to throughout this as he, but his gender and physical form are ambiguous. Rescued by Prospero from a long imprisonment at the hands of the witch Sycorax, Ariel is Prospero's servant until Prospero decides to release him. He is mischievous and able to change shapes at will. He carries out virtually every task that Prospero needs accomplished in the play.
Boatswain. The boatswain is vigorously good-natured. He seems competent and almost cheerful when the shipwreck happens, demanding practical help rather than weeping and praying. And he seems surprised but not stunned when he awakens from the long sleep at the end of the play. A storm strikes the ship carrying the royal party and other mariners. They begin to fear for their lives and prepare to die.
The next scene begins with Miranda and Prospero looking out at the wreck. Miranda wants to help, but her father assures her that everything is fine and that it's time for her to learn about her past. He admits to making the wreck happen. The story goes that he was the Duke of Milan until his brother Antonio, with help from the King of Naples, kidnapped and left Prospero and his daughter to die at sea. The two survive because Gonzalo leaves them supplies and Prospero's magic books. Once they arrive, they stay there for the next 12 years and are there still. When Miranda wakes up, her and her father visit Caliban. Caliban gets mad at them, and they get mad at him for being ungrateful. Ariel then enters with Ferdinand. Miranda and Ferdinand immediately fall in love. He is the only man she's ever seen besides her father and his servants. Prospero planned for this and is happy to see it is working. But things are moving a little too fast, so Prospero upsets things for a little. Prospero accuses Ferdinand of pretending to be the prince and threatens imprisonment. When Ferdinand draws his sword to defend himself, Prospero charms him and sends him to prison.
On another part of the island, other lords are glad they are safe, but worry about Ferdinand. Alonso wishes he'd never married off his daughter so they'd not have had to make the trip and his son would still be alive. Gonzalo tries to make everyone happy by talking about how beautiful the island is, but gets ignored. Ariel appears and puts everyone to sleep but Sebastian and Antonio. They talk about killing off the others. Antonio persuades Sebastian to kill Alonso. Right before they stab him, the others wake up, and the two make up a story about having to protect the king from lions.
Caliban is getting wood when he sees Trinculio and thinks he's an evil spirit sent by Prospero, so he goes and hides. Trinculio then comes upon him and joins him. Then Stefano comes along and joins the two. Stefano then decides that Caliban needs a drink. Soon all three are drinking, and Caliban starts to sing.
Prospero puts Ferdinand to work. Ferdinand finds the work pleasant because it's for Miranda. Miranda then tells him to take a break. They talk and she proposes marriage and he accepts. I do. Prospero has been watching and is glad about the development.
He says, Stefano, Trinculio, and Caliban, heavily drunk, are tricked by Ariel to fight. Caliban then boasts he knows how to kill Prospero. He even says he can bring them to where he sleeps. He says that they should kill Prospero and his daughter and set Stefano up as the king of the island. Stefano likes the idea and they begin to go. Ariel plays music to distract them off course.
Alonso, Gonzalo, Sebastian, and Antonio grow tired and rest. Antonio and Sebastian plot to take advantage of their exhaustion and kill them. Prospero, all the while, plans a banquet. Ariel appears and causes the banquet to vanish.
Prospero softens towards Ferdinand and welcomes him to the family. He reminds him, though, that Miranda must stay a virgin till the wedding is official. Prospero asks Ariel and friends to perform a mask for the couple. The spirits take shapes and perform a short mask celebrating the rites of marriage. The dance is interrupted by Prospero.
Prospero sends the spirits away and asks Ariel about the others. Ariel tells him of the three's plan, and he also tells them how he led them through rough grass and into a filthy pond. Ariel and Prospero set a trap of beautiful clothing in Prospero's cell. The three enter looking for Prospero and find the clothing. They decide to steal it and immediately are set upon a pack of spirits in the shape of dogs.
Oof. Prospero uses Ariel to bring everyone before him. Prospero confronts them with their treachery and forgives them. Alonso tells him of having lost Ferdinand and the Tempest, and Prospero says that he recently lost his own daughter. Clarifying, he draws a curtain to reveal the couple playing chess. The others are amazed by Ferdinand's survival, and Miranda is stunned by all the people she's never seen before. Ferdinand tells his father about his marriage.
Ariel returns with the boatswain, and the boatswain tells the story of having been awakened from sleep since the tempest. At Prospero's bidding, Ariel releases Caliban, Tranquillo, and Stefano, who are wearing stolen clothing. Prospero and Alonso command them to return it and clean it up. Prospero invites everyone to stay and learn about his life. Prospero will retire in Milan. Prospero gives Ariel one final task. Make sure the seas are calm for the return. Finally, Prospero delivers an epilogue to the audience asking them to forgive him and set him free by applauding him. Now my charms are all overthrown, and what strength I have's mine own, which is most faint now 'tis true, I must be confronted by you. Or sent to Naples, let me not, since I have my dukedom got, and pardoned the deceiver dwell in this bare island by your spell. But release me from your bands, with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours mine sail must fill, or else my project fails. Which was to please, now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. As ye from crimes would pardoned be, let your indulgence set me free. The character Prospero, the play's protagonist, the father of Miranda. 12 years before, Prospero was the Duke of Milan. His brother... What?
Milan.
Oh, Milan. His brother, Antonio, in concert with Alonso. Lasagna. The character Prospero is the play's antagonist.
Protagonist.
Prospero with this
Prospero, antagonist. He's better murder. He's very Prospero and
the father of lasagna.
His brother Anthony, in concert with lasagna, the king of nipples. Prospero spit the twist.
Prospero makes the decision to break his magic staff and move to Naples.
I'm gonna commit suicide.
Sexual possibilities were added with music, and even that was added too.
November 1st, 1611, was the first performance of The Tempest, played before King James.
In 1667, it was the first revival after theaters reopened at the Restoratorium.
The Tempest was first performed on November 1st, 1611, and it was performed for King James.
In 1667, it was the first revival after theaters reopened at the Restorian. The new version only included